Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Danielle McConnell. It's time to get excited because this is All Indiana Bets.
I'm Jason Hammer, and here's what I love about this show. We look like gamblers, right? Some of these other shows, they've got models and pretty people. They don't have fat guys that need sleep like this. This is what a gambler looks like, and I got picks for you today.
Hey, I am Scott Long calling live from a hotel room in flyover country, and you cannot stop me from being part of All Indiana Bets right here, right now.
This is All Indiana Bets, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. We are all Caesars.
That's right. Mr. Long is across the pond.
Look at that guy right there.
I'm in a box. I'm the man in the box.
Where are you
Buried in my
exactly?
something.
Where are you exactly?
So I do stand-up comedy. A lot of people know that. It seems like everywhere but Indiana. It doesn't seem like people know that I'm in Indiana. Though Friday night did a big event in Carmel with Shevsky. He rocked it. I rocked it. Today I'm in Des Moines, Iowa. Next week I'll be in Kansas City. I'm in Dallas next week. Indianapolis, call me. I don't want to have to do these shows from a hotel room.
This will be a quieter day today, though, because there's going to be a lot of less interruptions.
Yes, it already, it's more comfortable on the set. It smells so much better on the set today.
And Peter, do we have a code word to mute Scott today, by the way?
Is there some sort of action word we can say in case Scott starts going off the rails? Like, we can mute him like some of these other shows.
This is going to be a lot of fun. But, hey, let's get started, Scott. Hey, college football bowl season is here, and we have two local teams today. We have, let's see, Notre Dame -3 versus South Carolina in the Gator Bowl, and in the Citrus Bowl, Purdue is +10 versus LSU. So as you look at these early lines, who are you more confident in? Hammer, we'll go to you first since you're here.
All right. Listen, I'm going to say I'm more confident in Notre Dame. And by no means is that me saying I believe in the Irish here, because South Carolina's been pretty freaking good over the last month of the season, beating two teams in the top 10. But it's really just the fate of this Purdue team. Your coach is gone. What are you going to do against an LSU squad who they've got a lot of guys that are competing for starting gigs next year? They made a quarterback switch in the SEC championship game, and the backup kid did not miss a beat. So he's wanting some more playing time. He wants to be the guy. I think they're going to try to show everything they've got against a Purdue team who doesn't even know who their leader's going to be. So I feel more confident in Notre Dame as a favorite here than I do Purdue. Scott.
I am feeling Notre Dame and Purdue, South Carolina and LSU are going to come up to South Bend, and oh, wait a minute. It's played in warm weather. A huge advantage for the SEC this time of year. You got to lean where the faster athletes are at on usually either turf or a fast surface somewhere warm. Yeah, I gotta say, I would probably feel Notre Dame a little more. I don't like Purdue in this spot. I have no idea. I think Brom was very underrated as a coach. This is a team that should have won 2 more games than they did this year. They should have beaten Syracuse. They should have beaten Penn State. It was really, truly a great year. I'm not sure the next coach can follow that up. So, yeah, I guess I'd feel Notre Dame a little more.
And Danielle, with this Purdue and LSU connection here, here's what I want. I don't care if this is not the right hire, but as a talk show host in this city, I want Ed Orgeron in West Lafayette.
Oh, no.
I want big fat Coach O, go Boilers, at the end of every press conference. Make that happen for all the talk show hosts in this city. Lock up your daughters, West Lafayette. Bring Coach O up to West Lafayette. Let's go.
Hey, the top 4 teams have been announced. It'll be number 1 Georgia versus number 4 Ohio State and number 2 Michigan versus number 3 TCU in the semifinals. Okay, Georgia is the heavy favorite. And if you had to pick one of these 4 teams right now, who would you go with? Scott?
It's about plus money. I mean, I do think Georgia should be the favorite. I think Michigan has a real chance. Look, TCU, I've been fading them all year, and they give me heart attacks every week when I actually win against them, and I've lost more than I've won. I just think Ohio State is going to show up. It's going to be on a fast track. They are the SEC team in the Big Ten. I think Ohio State under Urban Meyer, he wasn't competitive, haven't feeling any competition, particularly from Penn State or Michigan at the time. So he was concerned about beating SEC teams. He knew how to do it. That's continued currently. And I think they'll rise to the occasion. This was an Ohio State team that was rated number 1 at the start of the year. So I would lean towards the Buckeyes.
Hammer, your thoughts?
I'm with Scott. The best team is Georgia, right? We know the Bulldogs are the best team, but like Scott, I want plus money. So I'm going to hitch my wagon to Michigan here because with Michigan, I think they have an easier path to the national championship game. I like Michigan against TCU. Would you be shocked if Ohio State beat Georgia in that first matchup? I wouldn't be. There's a lot of NFL guys that can make plays, especially playing in turf. So I think Georgia, even though they're the number 1 seed here, they kind of got the shaft in terms of matchups here. That's a tough first game. They're the best team, but I wouldn't be shocked if they lost. I would be shocked if Michigan lost to TCU. As much as I love Max and what they've done at TCU, Michigan's bigger, they're stronger, they're more physical, they're faster. I think they've got an easier path to the championship game, and that's all you need. A chance to win it all with plus money. Sign me up for Michigan.
Hey, Mr. Long, you may be far away, but that doesn't mean we're not going to give you that burst, baby.
Oh, look at that.
On college football picks the last 5 weeks.
What a bounce back, man.
Hey,
look at that.
With that, give us your early bowl bet.
So you're looking at these bowl bets, and so much of it has to do with where do you see things playing out? If people don't realize, as I said, I'm in a hotel room. My skin's looking pretty good. I don't know if you saw. I've got some oatmeal bar. Do you ever use an oatmeal bar, Danielle, ever on your skin?
It is very nice, yes.
Yeah, I have never used it. I feel refreshed. It felt hearty, too, like oatmeal. So, wow, I don't even know what my pick is. That's where I go. Okay, so did I pick Missouri? Is that what I did? I believe I did. +1. It really is a fade of who, when I take an SEC team against an ACC team. If you remember, was it last week or the week before? South Carolina was an underdog to Clemson, and Florida State was a favorite over Florida. And I'm like, wait a minute, Kentucky and Louisville, what's going on here? The SEC is the superior conference. I think Missouri is a more complete team. They probably give Georgia the toughest game they almost had all year. That's why I like Missouri in the spot, even though they're 6-6 versus a Wake Forest team that's 7-5. And there's a lot of talk that Wake Forest's coach could possibly be going to Purdue. So how will that impact the Wake Forest team? So I like Missouri, the Tigers. I am doing it from a hotel room, and I'm talking making picks.
All right, Hammer, who do you have for your early bowl pick?
First of all, I'm just surprised Scott's not on the toilet. Like, if you told me Scott Long was going to be broadcasting from a hotel room, I would have bet the mortgage he'd be sitting on the can doing the show today.
That's what you want.
I am going to go with the Razorbacks of Arkansas here. They're taking on Kansas. And listen, I think you're going to see quite a few points in this game, but Arkansas's got better athletes. Arkansas's quarterback, KJ Jefferson, made the announcement he's coming back next year. He is not going to try to go to the NFL draft. which is fancy talk for the scout said you're not good enough. So this is a good college quarterback. He's mobile, he can throw a little bit, and again, neutral site game in a bowl game favors the team with better athletes and more speed. That's Arkansas in this case, and they're going to have a lot more fans in this game too. Last time I checked, this wasn't a basketball game. Nobody from Kansas is excited to go watch this football team play. They're talking about basketball. They're buying the tickets now for when the Hoosiers come into Allen Fieldhouse here in a couple of weeks. Take Arkansas, lay the field goal. Thank me tomorrow.
Okay, if you want to keep up with any of these boys' bets today, oh, it's still over Mr. Long's head.
Look at
There's
that, he's not
QR
even
code.
here, and it's above his head. Look at that.
You can scan that and keep up with all the bets today. Hey, coming up, we've got college hoops and the one football game that's going on today. We'll talk about that. That's next on All Indiana Bets.
All Indiana Bets is presented for the people by Caesar Sportsbook, the only sports betting app you need.
Welcome back. Hey, there is only one college football game on the slate today, but that doesn't mean we're going to not break it down for you. So, Scott, why don't you go first on this Army-Navy?
I love this game. First off, I come from a military family. My grandfather was in the Navy. I've always rooted for the Navy in this game. It's a really special game. And I don't like to predict the side on this game. So obviously, the total 16 straight years, if you're not aware, this has been the best bet in the history of bets, has gone under. So what am I going to do? I love the over in the first quarter, if you can find that at 7. And my official bet is 15.5. That's all. 16 points is what needs to be scored in the first half to win your bet. Lowest total of the year in the first half. And then you throw in this. I am not going to fight that over, though. I still believe enough in trends to think maybe it's a tight game. The teams start really pounding each other. We were doing the statistical background in the back. If this game would be a typical over-under for an Army-Navy that weren't playing each other, you're looking at 48 points, 49 on the over-under. But when Army and Navy played Air Force, the other team that plays the triple option, all 3 service academies do, it was a 13-7 game, a 13-10 game. So where do I go? I like the over first half. What kind of breakdown is that from the Motel 5 that I'm at? Cheers.
Motel 5. Never heard of that one.
He couldn't quite afford the Motel 6, but if he gets a few bookings in Indianapolis, maybe they can upgrade.
Get to that level. There we go. Hammer, how about you?
So listen, if you're not watching this game, you're not an American, right? Last time I checked, I'm an American. I love the American flag. I love apple pie. I rooted for Hulk Hogan against the Iron Sheik. And of course, I'm going to be watching Navy against Army today. And I do have a side in this one. I agree, points are going to be at a premium here, but I like Navy in this one. Navy is the hotter team right now. Both of these teams have pretty good wins on their resume this year. Army, if they get a win today, they become bowl eligible. Not that they need any more motivation here, but this is a big one for Army, but it feels like they peaked earlier in the year. Navy has been playing some pretty good ball lately, and even though we think this is going to be a lot of handoffs, a lot of option, a lot of running today, Navy's the one team in this matchup that if they have to throw the ball, if they absolutely have to throw the ball, they can do it better than Army. I'll lay the 3 with the midshipmen.
Okay, let's talk college hoops, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do in the segment we like to call Feeling or Fading.
Oh, here come the cards.
There
Here
we
they
go.
are.
First up.
The real stars of the show are these cards.
Yes, I love it. We've got a top 25 showdown in Vegas. Indiana is taking on Arizona. The Hoosiers are a 1.5-point underdog. Are you feeling or fading IU, Hammer?
I am going to fade IU here because they're not getting the senior leadership that we thought they would get. Like with this Indiana team, we thought, all right, they've got some young freshmen coming in, but how consistent are they really going to be? We can count on the senior leadership, Trace Jackson Davis and Race Thompson and Xavier Johnson. Well, the 2 times that Indiana's played legitimate road games, the first one down at Xavier, which is a tough place to play, they trailed a lot of that game. And then they laid a complete egg at Rutgers last weekend. Race Thompson was a no-show. Xavier Johnson, no-show. So if Indiana can get their seniors rolling, not named Trace Jackson Davis, they can have a shot here, but I don't know if they can. I got more faith in the young kids than I do a couple of these seniors. I am fading the Hoosiers on this one in a true test on the road here.
Okay, Scott, how do you feel?
Yeah, Danielle, I'm sorry. I know you're IU basketball all day long. I am fading this. And last week on the show, I knew Indiana was playing at Rutgers in the RAC. I expected Xavier Johnson to fall apart like he usually does on the road. Oh, my Lord, it was the worst of these Xavier Johnsons. They're a really good home team. I like the Hoosiers. This isn't a true road game, but it kind of is because, as you know,
Right.
if you have ever been to Las Vegas, Arizona is right next to it. Tons of Wildcat fans will be coming up for that game. Look, I want to root for the Big Ten. I think IU has really good defensive skills. Their offense is pretty good too. 3-point shooting and especially not valuing the ball is the reason that this team is not going to be a second weekend NCAA tournament team. They've got to turn around taking care of the ball, less turnovers away from home.
Right, and I know, yes, I am the IU basketball fanatic, and if you ever watch a game with me, you really don't want to. But I think it comes down to what IU team is going to show up. Yes, we need the seniors like Trace Jackson Davis and Race Thompson, but we also need to depend on those freshmen. Is Hood Schifino going to play today? That is going to be the key to that game. I think if he shows up, we can get an Indiana team like they played North Carolina and like they played Xavier. But if he's not playing, I think, unfortunately, we're going to get an IU team that played the Rutgers. And Xavier Johnson, I know you guys keep talking about Xavier Johnson and why he is key. We need to stop depending on Xavier Johnson. We are successful when Xavier Johnson is good at defense and good at assists. He does not need to be the hero. We tried that last year. It did not work. Let's have him play more of a defensive player, and I think that's what's going to happen.
And when you've spent as much money as Danielle has at that
Yes.
university, you can say we.
Yes.
You can absolutely say we. You're not putting on a uniform today, but you paid for the people that are.
Oh,
so
you
that
have
counts.
no idea how much money. Scott, you had your hand raised. Did you need to say something?
Yeah, this is Danielle's the biggest dream in life. I raised my hand instead of interrupting her in the middle.
I like this new format, by the way.
My wife is like, I'm going to put you on Zoom at home. And I will just share, I did catch a lot of those wheeze. I didn't know that Danielle was part of the assistant coaching staff now.
I am.
I don't know if when Dane Fife left, Danielle filled in. They went with Danny instead of Dane. But ultimately, I love your passion, Danielle. I'm rooting for the Hoosiers today, but I'm not feeling it.
I get it. And yes, Danny. We'll go Danny, Coach Danny. That's what I want to know is. Okay, let's go to Purdue. They're looking to stay unbeaten on the road against Nebraska. The Boilermakers are a 9-point favorite. Scott, are you feeling or fading Purdue here?
I feel the freshman guards. I love him. Braden Smith, I saw his last year at Westfield. He was just electric. I'm not surprised by him. But I don't feel them on the road early in the season. That many points, almost 10 in Nebraska. Nebraska's looked decent. They beat Creighton even. So I would fade that number. I think the Boilers will win, but it'll be close.
I'm going to go the other direction here, Scott. I'm going to feel it just because of the matchup problem that Purdue gives Nebraska. They've got no answer for Zach Edey. Zach Edey is a game changer for this Purdue team, and it shouldn't come as a shock that Purdue has a legitimate big. But Zach Edey this year is playing so far ahead of what was expected of him. I think he's got a chance. We talked about this a couple weeks ago to be in the mix for the Player of the Year awards, and he's a matchup problem that I don't think Nebraska can handle. It'll be close for a little while. It's home, but the size of Purdue will wear down Nebraska. I think Purdue gets a cover here.
All right, coming up next, Scott, put your glasses on. I know you're in Iowa, but you still got them, right?
Oh, there they go.
Here we go.
There they go. You know what that means.
It's the Long Shot and Degenerate Special next.
The Long Shot, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
What do we got here, Danielle? What do we got?
Bourbon, Elijah Craig. Did you raid your fridge? Did you raid your fridge, Scott, in your Motel 5?
Oh, let me just tell you right now, I am so excited to do the long shot from this hotel room. I am presented for the people. Now, here's a positive. I was kind of ripping. Monday, I am doing the Christmas party for the Caesars in Shelbyville. Thank you, my friends at Caesars. Is that called the Horseshoe? What is that called? Casino.
Horseshoe, Indianapolis. Make sure you mention my name. They love me there.
I will not mention Hammer. Probably not even Nigel. I won't mention that I'm part of this show. So what I will tell you is, what I will mention, 19-6, I heard that Burst said, in college the last 5 weeks. Here we go. Some of them are college basketball. Today, I love Penn State. This is not only my long shot, this is my best bet of the day. Shrewsbury coach from Purdue. He's made it Purdue East. He's doing such a great job there. Illinois is loaded with talent, but it's all transfers. You don't know which team is showing up. I like the quality of basketball, the valuing again, not turning the ball over by the Nittany Lions. Illinois could be great by the end of the year. They're very up and down. I don't like this many points at all on the road in the Big Ten. Take Penn State to the bank.
I like it.
Hey.
I like that one.
You do?
I do. I'm with him on that one. Shrewsbury, he's right. That's a mini Purdue program they've got out at Penn State. They're going to try to be physical. They're going to try to slow the game down a little bit, and that's an awful lot of points for that style of play.
Yep. It is time now for the Degenerate Special. Hammer, take it away.
Oh, here we go. Don't talk to me about rivalries. Don't talk to me about Army, Navy, or Michigan, Ohio State. Talk to me about St. Peter's and St. Joseph's, because that's where we're at today with the Degenerate Special. Got a little college basketball going on here, a little war in Philly, a little downtown Philly war, neutral site kind of thing going on here, but I like St. Peter's in this one. I think they've got better shooting. I think they're more athletic. Both teams here, not quite what they were a year ago. Certainly not St. Peter's. And I know that name still kind of gives shivers to Purdue fans. But St. Peter's getting 5 in this type of game where it's a rivalry, it's going to be close. I think that's too many points here. Give me the Peacocks. I'll take the 5. Man, this is your first college basketball Degenerate Special of the year. We're going to get off to a hot start.
Coming up next, it is our best bets of the day. That is next on All Indiana Bets.
The Best Bet is brought to you by Evan Williams. Bourbon done right.
It is time now for our best bets of the day. They are brought to you by Evan Williams Bourbon.
Boom.
Hammer, why don't you go first?
So much to the chagrin of the representative of Iowa, the best athletic conference in America is the SEC. We all know about their football programs, but don't sleep on some of these basketball teams. And this brings us to Arkansas. Arkansas against Oklahoma today. It's kind of an Oklahoma home game, but it's not. They're playing this game in Tulsa, so it's not a campus site, but it's in the state of Oklahoma. I think actually this helps Arkansas because it's not a campus game. Arkansas doesn't have to deal with a lot of the things that come with playing on campus. Fans aren't as rowdy on neutral site games. It's just not the same feel. Arkansas is ranked in the top 10 this year. They had a good run in the NCAA tournament a year ago. And what I like about this Arkansas squad, they can beat you in a number of ways. They don't just rely on three-point shooting. As a matter of fact, they beat you from the inside shooting twos. They're in the top 25 in the nation on shooting two-point shots, which in today's college basketball seems like a wacky concept. They can get up and down in transition. They've got some size. They're good defensively. This is going to be a close game, but I think Arkansas squeaks it out, and that point spread's not that big, just 3.5. The better team, neutral site, give me the Razorbacks.
Okay, Scott, who do you have?
Is this all Arkansas bets? Is that what this is called now, Hammer? I mean, you did football, you did basketball. You are correct. Actually, Fayetteville is as close to Tulsa as Norman is. It's right in between, so that's why it's a neutral site. I am drinking a drink that I realize I don't really like a dark pop without Evan Williams in it. It's good. I got to bring those on the road. Ooh, give me some of that Elijah Craig or something. I need it. Okay, I guess we got a game I need to pick. This is amazing. If you haven't been paying attention, ooh, the ACC, what a conference. You got Georgia Tech, who's not good, but then you've got Louisville and Florida State. Between the two of them, they're 1 and I believe 18.
Ooh.
That's what I mean. 1 and 18 to start the season. Florida State's fallen totally apart, but they're still a 10-point favorite. How can that be? Because Louisville looks like an NAIA school. They're almost to the point where they're singing Return of the Mac. That's what they're hoping. They would love to have Pitino come back and bring whatever he wants. NIL and Pitino, they're going to be winning national championships again. I'm just telling you right now, the Cardinals should not be 10-point underdogs, though, to a Florida State team that's lost 4 major contributors to injury. Hold your nose. Don't watch the game. Just look at the final score. 8 points. I think that will be the spread. The Cardinals cover.
My favorite part of what Scott said was, yeah, this brown drink without booze in it doesn't
Right?
taste well. Some people call that a problem.
Oh my goodness, it tastes good. Hey, who else is on our Zoom meeting today? He's coming up next.
Oh, it's a Zoom party. It's a Zoom party.
The Cashman, that's next on All Indiana Bets.
It's a great day to be an American. We've got the Army-Navy game going on today, and when you think about great Americans, you think about George Washington, you think about Thomas Jefferson, and then you think about the Cashman, Alan Cashman, our resident wise guy, the pro, Mr. Cashman. How are you, my friend?
Doing great, Jason. How are you?
I'm great. We've got picks lined up. We've given picks throughout the show. We got more coming up, but you're the pro. You're the guy that does this for a living. So what do you got for us today?
This will be up your alley as far as a degenerate type of play. We're going to take Belmont -1 today at home. They're hosting Middle Tennessee, 5 o'clock tip-off. Middle Tennessee 0-3 against the spread on the road this season. They're 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games following a straight-up win. Also shooting under 40% in road games this year. You look at Belmont, shooting over 40% from three-point range on the season and shooting 43.8% from three-point range over their last 5 games. Belmont's also shooting over 46% as a home team this year, so I'm going to go with Belmont -1 at home today over Middle Tennessee.
All right, 2 things here. Number 1, I want to see the face of somebody when you ask them, are you watching IU against Arizona today? No, Belmont and Middle Tennessee's on. I've got plans. And number 2, this is how I know this show is growing. When somebody makes a pick like that and they call it a degenerate special, that's how I know we're doing something right, my friend. If somebody wants to get your services, you are a winning machine. If somebody wants to get your services, how do they do that?
Go to the website, thecashmanwins.com. We are 53-28-1 in our last 82 subscriber plays. We're 5-2 on the season in college basketball so far. Just go there. Affordable options for everyone, and that's at thecashmanwins.com.
The best in the business, the Cash Man. Thank you very much. Man, I love that dude. Big, hairy American winning machine. That's what he is.
All right, it's final pick time and
the Mick pick. Mick pick is coming up.
that's coming up next on All Indiana Bets.
Presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Your first bet is on Caesars. Bet up to $1,250. And if you don't win, you'll get it back as a free bet. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and over.
You know, we have a show going on.
Well,
Why
there's
are you
an
on your
interesting tweet that came in here. LV Runner tweets at me, at Jason Allen Hammer. We love this show. We think it would be great if Danielle would take a pie in the face from Blue on the air. She is an inspiration and an indie role model, and it would be fantastic.
Hey, I will do that. That's fine.
So now we're taking requests? Is that
Yeah,
what we're doing?
Pie in the face? Okay.
Because I can't read a lot of the requests people send me on Twitter,
Oh,
but
my
you can
goodness.
take a pie in the face, I
I will
believe.
take. I'm all about granting kids' wishes here. Hey, Scott, why don't you go on your final pick? Who do you got?
I want to grant adult wishes, and here we go. The game that really, there's Army and Navy, and in soccer, the Army and Navy game is England versus France. You might have heard they've had some wars in the past as well, and they are going to have one today. It's about plus money. France is the better team. England has more depth. France would be the best team in this tournament if they hadn't lost two of their best players to injury. I don't see anyone on England that can stop Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe, he's Usain Bolt on the soccer field. He cannot be stopped. You've just got to try to get two or three people in front of him. He's going to be going up the sidelines. Look, Griezmann will probably score if you want to do a little prop bet too. I like that. Olivier Giroud, who in America is pronounced Oliver Giroud, is pretty much dynamite and really underrated and plays well with Mbappe and Griezmann. Wow, did I just give a lot of soccer knowledge? I did. Hammer has no idea what I just said, kind of like when I listen to his radio show. And ultimately, I love the Frenchies today. England is Buffalo Bills and Minnesota Vikings of World Cup soccer. They're always going to be runners-up.
Okay. Hammer, who do you got?
All right, Danielle, take a drink if you've heard me say this before. Much to the chagrin of the representative of Iowa, the best athletic conference in America is the SEC. And this brings us to Alabama and Houston. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why would anybody bet against Houston? They're a machine, the #1 team in the country. They play the best defense. Kelvin Sampson, he always does things on the up and up. Okay, so Alabama getting 8 points in this matchup is too many points. Houston might win this game, but this is too many points. Alabama is a pretty decent squad here, and when you look at the history of Alabama's head coach as an underdog, he's got a great record. He gets these dudes going. Nobody says they're counting us out like the Alabama basketball program. Getting 8 points, low scoring game, because that's what Houston does, and a team getting 8, that math doesn't add up. Give me the Tide, roll Tide, getting 8 points.
You know, sometimes, oh, he's wearing a hat now. Okay.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
America needs farmers, they need the military, and they need the Hawkeyes. Big Ten, I've heard enough of your crap. Go on, Danielle, sorry.
You know what? Sometimes I do listen to Scott on the show. A lot of times I block him out. And, you know, I want to thank his family for his service. Absolutely. But then he went into stats of like Army, Navy. They always go under the last 16 years in a row. They're like 40s like that, but not when they play one another. Scott,
Oh,
ladies and gentlemen,
here we
boys
go.
and girls,
We're getting nuts.
listen to me. Vegas, you hear it on the show all the time. Vegas knows something. I don't know how they know it. But yes, they have gone under the last 16 years in a row. It started at 35.5, and I would have been comfortable picking that under. Then it went down to 33.5. I would have been comfortable picking that under. Then it went at 32.5. Then you took my hook away. And it's at 32 now.
Preach!
And I need a hook like I need a warm hug. And if you take my warm hug away, I'm gonna go over. It's bound to change. Go over.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts, baby. We got Danielle taking the over in Army and Navy today.
Take the over. It's gonna change. Hey, Scott, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Good to see your face.
You don't get the food, Scott. Kick rocks, buddy. How does that feel? How you like them apples?
And we're gonna final recap. Peter's pick.
Warm hug. Warm hug.
Oh, thank you.
Coming up next. Here's a little fun fact for you. If you're on a Zoom meeting, and even though you're not speaking, or in our case on camera, maybe the producers can still see you. Maybe you don't get undressed. Maybe you don't go to the bathroom. I'm just saying, Scott. All right, here are the picks that Scott made today. He's got Missouri. He's got the over in the first half. He's got Penn State, Louisville, and France in the World Cup. I will see Scott's picks, and I will go Arkansas, Bama, Navy, and your degenerate special is St. Peter's. You make these picks, you might win enough money to buy Twitter from Elon Musk. I'm just saying. So those are our picks. Bet with us, bet against us, do whatever you want. But if you just want to drink and eat with us, then come on back, because coming up next, Denver's Garage is here. They brought pizza, they brought wings, they brought all the things you need for the Army and Navy game today. They are in the house. We'll tailgate next on All Indiana Bets.
I'm gonna take one of these.
This is the best show we've ever done. Scott Long's gone, and all the food is here for us. Look at this. Wow, we've got Denver's Garage here, Fritz Fence, which is an awesome name, by the way, joining us from Denver's Garage. Where is Denver's Garage?
Fortville, Indiana.
Okay, so it's not in Denver. I just want to make that perfectly clear.
No, Fortville, Indiana.
Okay.
Right on Broadway.
Now, what do you guys specialize in?
Well, we specialize in pizzas. We got the Fort Villain, which is, we call it our date night pizza.
Okay. Why is it that?
Because it will give you bad breath.
Oh, sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. Let's go. Here we go. Here we go.
Garlic, gorgonzola,
Oh, here we go.
and mozzarella, and goat cheese.
There we go. What else? I had one of your wings, and those are delicious.
This is so good.
This is our Cajun spice wings that we run through our oven 3 different times.
Okay,
Give
now,
them that crispy.
there's a lot of stuff up here, and I want to get to that. But what separates your place, Denver's Garage, from any other pizza and wing place?
Well, we start with our dough ball. Our dough ball is a fine ground Italian flour, which accepts the high heat. And our oven is a stone conveyor oven.
Oh, wow. And then your social media girl over there, she's shouting at you.
Yeah.
You have a big outdoor seating area,
Yes.
too.
Yes. Very.
Tell us about that. And you have events? And,
Yes.
and what, is he
Live
missing
music.
anything? Okay.
Live music, yes.
Don't get her mad at you.
No, I don't want that.
She's like that angry fan that sits in the front row of a ball game and yells.
There's our building right there. It's a 1956
Look at that, that's cool.
mid-century gas station.
Really?
So it's kind of got that throwback diner
Yes.
kind of look to it.
Yes.
And even though in December, it's kind of cold out, but I would imagine come warmer weather, that's a great place to sit outside, right?
Yes, and you can see a lot of people like to come by and park their hot rods out there, and we get pictures of their hot rods out in front of our.
So if we wanted to
gas
get a
station.
hold of you, or like, can we do catering? How do we get a hold of you?
Holiday party, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
You'd have to go to Denver's Garage Pizza and Brew on our Facebook page, and you can click on that to get to our catering.
What else we got up here today?
Wow.
What's this up here?
This is a popular pizza for beer. It's buffalo chicken.
Did you say beer? Okay,
Yes,
I'm in.
buffalo
I'm in.
chicken.
I'm in. Buffalo chicken. I love buffalo chicken. I love beer, and I love Denver's Garage. There's a whole lot of love. I love Scott Long not being here today because we get more time on camera. The show is better, and there's more food for all of us.
I'm surprised you didn't pull a wing out of your pocket during that final segment.
I totally should have in honor of Scott.
Yeah.
So one more time, if somebody wants to find you, come get some food, where can they go?
Denver's Garage Pizza and Brew Facebook page.
Fortville, Indiana, represent.
That's great.
Help out this
This is so
awesome
good.
business. Man, Fritz, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
This is
Thank
good.
you.
Is there some ranch over there?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Ranch
ranch
is
over
tough.
there. You guys been holding out on your boy.
Enjoy your college football Saturday and basketball. We'll be back tomorrow for your NFL. Enjoy, guys.
Good luck, everybody. Go get some of Denver's Garage. It's really good.
Thank you.